afternoon. My name is Krista and I work here in the Learning Curve, and today we're going to be talking about time management. I want you to take down this URL here at the bottom because this is going to be a link to the presentation online which you can download, and we've included a bunch of other resources in the presentation that will be useful to you in managing your time effectively. So what is time management? Time management is how we plan, organize, and prioritize all of the activities and things that we have to get done in a day, week, or month. Today we're going to go over different ways that you can do both, all of those, planning, organizing, and prioritizing. So one of the common questions that we get is, why do I care about time management? Most students don't care about it and don't see the benefit to it. So we're here to show you what some of the benefits are. You can be more efficient and more effective. You can get better grades, which will then boost your confidence and reduce your stress. Some signs of poor time management are if you find you don't have enough time to complete all of your assignments, or if you're studying for a test and you're cramming the night before and don't have enough time to complete all of the stuff that's on the syllabus. You might be feeling anxious about all the different tasks you have to complete and you don't have the time to do it. You may be feeling really stressed, you may be having headaches, just generally not feeling well and feeling unsure about everything you have to accomplish. So the first part of time management is figuring out how you spend your time now. So you're really busy. You have your classes, you have your work outside of school, you have your family, you have social obligations. So there's a lot of things you have to consider when managing your time. So if later on your own time, if you click on this link, it will be a link that will show you the way that your day is divided up into. So it asks questions like, how many hours a day do you spend in class? So how many hours a day do you spend in class currently?
6 hours.
And then how many hours a day do you sleep?
8 or so.
How much time do you give for yourself for getting to and from work?
Half hour.
What about your meal time? Meal prep, eating, cleaning up, etc.
1 hour.
Right. So you're seeing how quickly the time in your day is getting eaten up. How much do you study every day?
2 hours.
Right. So again, you're seeing how your time is slowly dwindling out and you don't have as much time as you originally thought you did. You have a whole day, but when you divvy it up into what everything you're doing, then you see that things aren't, you don't have as much time as you thought you did. So what you need to do is take what you did for that one day and extrapolate it to your whole week and look at how you spend your entire week. So you need to also look and see if it reflects how you want to spend your time. Did you get all your assignments done on time? Did you have enough time to study everything you need to know for a test? Did you have enough time to spend with your friends? And keep in mind too, you want to have a good school work-life balance. You don't want to be spending all of your time on school, all of your time on social things, or all of your time working at your job outside of school. So you need to make sure you have a good balance between those things. As well, something to take into consideration is if you find you're more productive at a certain time as opposed to another. Some people are morning people and they find they get most of their work done really quickly and well in the morning, whereas some others are night owls and they prefer to work at night, and that's when they do their best work. So you need to determine for yourself which one of those people you are and then plan your tasks according to that. The things you need a lot of concentration and really need to focus on things, do it at those times that you're most productive. Also, keep in mind about times you may be more likely to be interrupted. Those who have a small family at home or a lot of siblings around, if you find that you're getting your work done in the evening, but then that's when everyone comes up and bothers you and is texting you or asking you for help to do things, try not to schedule your things that need a lot of focus for those times. Once you see how you're spending all of your time, you then need to find a way to organize it. And that again is a personal preference and is totally up to you and the way you want to do it. You can use a to-do list, and as you accomplish tasks, you cross them off. You can use the student planner that the Student Association hands out that has your months laid out, your days laid out. You can organize everything according to that. You can use your computer or your phone, right? It's anything that organizes your time and that works for you. You may find that you need to take a bunch of different types and try them out first to see which one works best for you. There's nothing wrong with that. So you have your to-do list, but how do you know which tasks to start with first? The way you're going to manage that is by classifying everything according to the urgent and important matrix. So we're going to take every task and put it into a group. Is it urgent and important? Is it urgent and not important? Not urgent, not important, or not urgent and important? So, urgent and important things are those that you want to do first off. The examples given are crying baby, you have a fire in your kitchen, or you need to complete your student loan application. Those are things you need to get done right away, and so those are the top of your list, and you want to complete those first. Next on the list is things that are not urgent but important. Those are things that you need to get done, but they're not due immediately. So those are things like you want to make sure you exercise 3 times a week, you have an assignment due next Monday, and you have an English essay that's due in 2 weeks from now. Those are all things that are not urgent but are still very important. Then you have your tasks that are not important and not urgent. So those are the ones that you can just eliminate completely if you're finding you don't have enough time. Those are things like mindless TV watching, just your time wasters. Those are the things you completely take out of your calendar. And then we have urgent and not important. So those are the things that you can resist, refuse, or delegate. Usually there's stuff that other people can do. Is it preparation and planning? Like say you had to give a presentation tomorrow, but you want to prep an hour beforehand, that can be the first thing to go. You can just make do without it. Same with certain distractions. If you know that your coworker constantly comes in and bothers you when at a certain time, make sure that you get rid of that distraction. So now we're going to do a little bit of an activity, and I want you to classify each one of these tasks according to one of the 4 quadrants on the previous example. So what would 3 loads of laundry be?
Important but not urgent?
Correct. You could delegate that to someone, right? What about watching Stranger Things on Netflix?
Not urgent, not important.
Right. If you have time, definitely you can sit down and watch a few things, but if you need to make room for other activities, that's something that can be eliminated from what you need to do. Your essay that's due tomorrow.
Urgent and important.
Right. Test at the end of the month.
Not urgent but important.
Right. Something you're going to plan for in advance, not due tomorrow, but you're still going to make sure you have the time to complete it. Tumblr post about my cat.
Not urgent, not important.
Yes, as much as I would like them to be urgent and important, it's what you said it was. Get the strange car noise fixed.
That's urgent and important.
Yes and no. It's definitely important, but is it something you get someone else to do?
Probably.
Right, so it's not something you need to be concerned about yourself. Delegate that to someone else to do it. What about your essay due next week?
It's important but not urgent.
Right. What about respond to a text from parents?
Not urgent, not important.
And that's kind of a personal preference. If you're not really in contact with your parents, yeah, sure, but if you're someone who needs, like, your mother needs to know if you contacted your Aunt Betty who's in the hospital, then that's kind of urgent and important, right? It just depends on the situation and your relationship. What about getting rid of the raccoon living under my kitchen sink?
That's urgent and important.
Yes, but would you delegate that to someone else? Would you try to catch that raccoon yourself?
Probably not.
So I would say it's urgent and not important. Even though we say not important sounds kind of like you're not doing it, but it's one of those things you can delegate. Study for your test tomorrow,
Urgent and important.
and having a coffee with a friend you haven't seen much of lately.
Not urgent, not important.
Right. Make lunch for tomorrow, rest of the week.
Important but not urgent.
Right. So to recap, the 7 steps to success: make a list of everything you need to get done, prioritize that, get your first things done, drop anything you don't need to do yourself, delegate, and if there's any shortcuts you can take, make sure you take those. And one other important thing that we talk about a lot here at school is that with time management, students often will manage their time according to the things they want to do and not the things they have to do. So we need to make sure that you save time for your studies. So that means not only do you need to make time for your assignments and studying for your exams, but you need to make sure that you take the time to leave enough time to study for the concepts that you've done in class. So take about 10 minutes each day to go over what was covered in class, because if you don't review that, you'll forget it, and you need to retain all that information. Procrastination is another big issue that we have with time management, is because there's always tasks that people just don't want to do. So they often make excuses like, well, I don't know how to do it, or it's too big and I just don't even know where to start. Maybe it's really boring and you just don't want to do it. What you need to do is just get those tasks done first, because you're going to keep putting them off and it's going to create a huge backlog in your time management schedule. So you need to find out why you don't want to do it, tackle it, and do it. If you don't understand, get the help. If you find it boring, then find some way to make it exciting. If it's too big, break it up into chunks and tackle those bit by bit and eventually get the whole thing done. So another important thing to do too is to reward yourself once you've finished with these things. If you finish a huge task you didn't want to do, you get to go out to a movie, which you've been wanting to see for a long time. It's really important to keep up that reward system and getting those tasks you don't want to do done first. Something else to keep in mind too is that you need to make sure that you're constantly reviewing your plan. What you plan for one week may not apply to the next week, and you may need to keep tweaking it in order to ensure that you're getting everything done that you want to. So every week, take time to look to see how it went. Did you accomplish everything you wanted to? How do you need to make, what changes do you need to make for next week? Does the schedule work for you? And then if it doesn't, make sure you try a different way. So, as a summary, we know that often time management isn't something on the top of your list of important things to do, but really it helps you a lot in your schoolwork and managing everything else besides schoolwork. And you need to make sure you understand yourself and how you use your time and how you can best manage that. So start making to-do lists and prioritizing those tasks according to the urgent and important matrix, and set some goals, like I want to accomplish this by the end of the week, and then set larger goals, like I want to accomplish this by the end of the month. This school year I want to accomplish what? And then recognize your procrastination and start working on it as soon as you notice that it's happening, and set aside time each week to plan for the following week, and then evaluate how you're doing. So if you need any help with what was covered here today, it was a very brief, brisk introduction to time management. We're available here to help you with any of the concepts that were covered today, so feel free to contact us. I'm here at this campus in room P116, and you can call this number here if you want to write it down and make an appointment. And as well, if you didn't copy down the URL initially, you can copy it down now, and again, that gives you a copy of the presentation with the added resources to it. Any questions or comments? Awesome, thank you very much.